Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. It's April 28th, and today's reflection is the third so far in the Everyday Human, inspired by a poem by the mighty and wise and wonderful poet Wendell Berry. I told you he was one of my favorites, and I meant it. And we have a couple more coming inspired by him as well. The first we had inspired by his poetry was from February 12th, The Child Poet. Then we had the bonus episode in March, What Does It Mean to You? And here we are today in April, and this one is titled Imagined Futures. And it was inspired by perhaps his most well-known poem, The Peace of Wild Things. This is also the title of the collection of poetry that I have from him. I've recently started reading this again, 1 or 2 or 3 poems a day in the morning with my coffee before I sit down to write, and I think this is a book everyone should have in their home. So, as I've introduced Wendell Berry in those previous episodes, I won't spend any more time in the intro here. If you are just joining us here on the Everyday Human and you missed those episodes, head back in time, give them a listen. All right, here is The Peace of Wild Things. Oh, and I also make an allusion to this poem in my book, Lux, from the Kingdom of Darkness. It's such a wonderful poem, and it goes like this. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars, waiting for their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world, and am free. One of my all-time favorite poems right there. And here is my reflection. The wheel of time turns and turns. The grains of sand pass through the hourglass. The second hand ticks. The clouds pass overhead, and the leaves bud and grow and brown and fall. How much of this time do we spend living our lives in our heads? In imagined futures, where 99% of the outcomes, which we alchemize from memories and anecdotes and fiction and worst-case scenario thinking, never come to be. We fear a future that does not exist, one that we created and then let control our lives in the present. This is a very human thing to do. Anxiety has helped us survive for millions of years out in the plains or in the forests and mountains. And it's easy to say, do not let it control you when you are not suffering from it. But when your mind has been apprehended by it, that is another matter. So best to prepare and best to repair. Find your places in nature, those ones that heal you and free you. Breathe the air, watch the swaying of the trees, the still water of a pond, the blue skies and bright stars. Do this every chance you get, when on vacation or out on a hike, or stopping for a moment in the grocery store parking lot to look up at the clouds and imagine where they've been and where they have yet to go. Watch the birds below them on their way south or north without forethought of grief. Then breathe and repeat. And there ends today's reflection. I hope whenever you are burdened by imagined futures, as we all are at times, that you can remember that they are imagined, and we have no choice but to wait and see how things will play out. And also that you will be prepared with whatever tools you currently have to handle whatever situation comes your way when it does come. Or perhaps more and better tools if you are working on it and preparing. But then I hope you also remember that you can go out into the world, into nature, and find the peace of wild things there, and watch the birds and the water and the trees, the wind moving through the leaves, and take a deep breath and just be. All right, and now it's time for your reflection question. Ask yourself this: what future have I created in my mind that I am dreading? Can I strip it down and see the objective truth by living in the present? And that's it for April 28th. I'll be back tomorrow, April 29th, with another reflection. Have a good one, and take care.